I'm Mansi Bhandari from 2012 batch. So I'm working in the service delivery department here at Cellular, and I'm basically currently at the designation of a manager. When I had joined Idea, I had actually joined in the sales function because I had done my MBA in marketing. But after 2 years of that, when I moved to Bombay actually from Pune. So that time I changed over to the service delivery function.
Yeah, so could you tell us a little bit about the work culture at Idea Cellular?
See, work culture, so to say, is actually very chilled out for a lot of reasons. Because this is one of those companies which, I don't know if I should put it like that, but while competitiveness is there, but there is a lot of focus which is given to, in general, to human values. And the policies and all are extremely employee friendly. So because of that, people are in general very laid back and chilled out, and they don't have something hovering on top of their head all the time that things have to be done in a certain specific timeline and all. That is not the culture that we follow around here. And other than that, also there are a lot of team activities and stuff that the HR keeps planning, which is actually very inclusive. So in general, the work life, here is pretty chilled. Chilled out is a word that I would use. Not that I have any basis for comparison because I've never worked anywhere else. But obviously I talk to people and I speak to others who are friends and other colleagues. So you get to know that you are in a much better workspace than others are. So that's about it.
So it looks like you're having fun at Idea, but how does it compare to SCMHRD?
See, something that SCMHRD teaches you very early on in your academic basically career is you have to learn to take hard knocks. That you have to learn to take. I think first semester is probably the semester where you learn that the maximum. It just goes on to become easier after that. It keeps becoming easier and easier after that. So once you have had that sort of an experience, everything becomes very smooth sailing for you. So otherwise, in general, obviously college was probably a lot more stressful for me than my work life is, which is not true for a lot of people, but for me that holds true because college, I think for me was one of those experiences which was when I was stepping out of my house for the first time. So that was a whole new world, and there was a whole new level of competitiveness, the kind of people who you never interacted with. So college was probably a lot more harder on me than this place has been. This place has been actually very benign to me. So that is definitely there. But of course, the kind of expectations, the kind of responsibility you have here is obviously a lot more than what you ever had in college, where you are responsible only for yourself.
Yeah, you already spoke about what you learned at SCMHRD, but could you mention a certain instance or a couple of instances where you actually learned something that still holds true today at Idea?
Learn something that holds true even today. Probably the fact that despite whatever your today seems to you, things might get very, very extremely hard at one given point of time. You might feel that you're reaching your breaking point, which happened to me a lot in college and a lot in office also. But at the end of the day, I think even what got me through college and what gets me through here every day is that in the bigger picture, in your in the next 4 years, probably today the most excruciating thing that you're going through wouldn't even matter. You would look back and think of it, that was nothing. So that is one thing that definitely, so I'll be very candid with you. I was one of those people who, at least during the summer placements, I was probably one of the last people to get placed. Not probably, I was probably the last person to get placed in the marketing batch. So obviously at that time that was very heartbreaking. But now when I look back on it and see that, that was practically nothing. And in the bigger picture of things, it's like, ठीक है, वो तभी होना था हो गया. Now it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Here also when I came, when I wanted a shift to Bombay because I got married and I was desperately wanted to get, I struggled for months altogether to get a change of roles. At that time I thought the organization was being very cruel to me or they were being very unfair to me. But now that I'm here, I've been here since past 2 years, it's like, ठीक है, even if you have to struggle a little, it's okay. It doesn't matter. So those are the kind of things that stay with you. You kind of get to learn that ultimately, which brings me to your next question also, that what is the one thing that I can tell people in colleges? Don't stop having fun. After everything that you do, after everything that you go through college, don't stop having fun in what you're doing. Even if you can't have fun in things that you're doing, don't stop having fun in general with your friends. At the end of it, nothing else matters except from what you're, how socially, I wouldn't say how you're placed socially, but how your interactions with your peer group is, or with your, let's say, your spouse is, and those are the things that matter. Everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
So don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take life so seriously. Things suddenly look very serious when you join an MBA college, or you're new to a job, especially when you join an MBA college. But that stress is really not worth it. It's definitely not worth it. So that's it.
Thank you so much.
Audio.